Yeah, dear colleagues, it's with utmost pleasure that I'm here with you and 12 European Union heads of mission, ambassadors, consul generals, heads of representation offices. This is the first visit since 2016 of European Union representatives to the Gaza Strip, and according to my recollection of events, the second largest ever visit to the Gaza Strip by European Union representatives. Thank you very much for the great hospitality extended to us today by the authorities, the municipalities, the partners we are working with, people from the private sector, from the NGO world, from the academia, human rights activists, and I'm very grateful also for your presence. It's impressive to see so many journalists here.
بداية نرحب بكم جميعا وأهلا وسهلا في زملائنا الكرام. طبعا ممثلو الاتحاد الأوروبي في فلسطين نود أن نقول أن هذه هي أول مناسبة لنا هنا أو أول حدث نقوم به هنا منذ عام 2016 طبعا، وهو ثاني أكبر حدث في غزة. طبعا نقدم شكرنا لكل القلوب منها البلديات والسلطات والقائمين على هذا البرنامج وهذه المناسبة، وخاصة مؤسسات الNGOs ومؤسسات حقوق الإنسان.
We came here today for two main reasons. First, to demonstrate our solidarity with the people of Gaza, who have been deeply affected not only by the closure for more than 13 years, but also by the fact that COVID has taken a heavy toll on the population of Gaza.
نحن هنا لسببين رئيسيين. السبب الأول هو تضامننا مع غزة، وطبعا نتحدث عن 13 سنة من الحصار، وأيضا السبب الآخر وهو السبب المستجد هو يتعلق بكوفيد-19 الوباء كورونا فيروس كورونا والذي أتى إلى غزة حديثا.
And the other reason is to get a better first-hand understanding of the problems the population in Gaza is facing, and to see and to better understand how best we from the European Union can help the population in improving their livelihood, in addressing the pandemic and overcoming the hurdles they face.
وأيضا أتينا هنا إلى سبب من أجل سبب رئيسي، وهو أن نتعرف على مشاكل قطاع غزة، وأيضا نقدم كل الدعم لقطاع غزة باسمنا اسم الاتحاد الأوروبي.
It is our deep conviction that we need to demonstrate to you full solidarity with the Palestinian cause. Gaza is for us an integral part of the Palestinian occupied territories, and there will not be found a solution for an independent, a viable, a contiguous and a democratic Palestinian state without the full inclusion of Gaza.
نحن نقدم دعمنا للقضية الفلسطينية ونسعى بشكل كامل لتحقيق الاستقلال الفلسطيني.
That was a rather short version of what I was saying.
Seems so. وغزة هي طبعا جزء لا يتجزأ من فلسطين.
We are deeply also convinced that the human rights of the people of Palestine, their right to self-determination, their right to education, their right to health, to food, to free access and exit needs to be respected. Please.
طبعا ونقدم نحن نؤكد على ضمان لكل شخص وفرد في غزة حقوق الإنسان، وأيضا الحق في التعليم والحق في تحقيق الذات إلى ذلك.
Let's be frank about this. We have three major duty bearers who all impact on the life of Gazans. First of all, it is the Israeli occupation, which maintains full control over the borders of Gaza, over the maritime area of Gaza and the airspace of Gaza. Second, we have the Palestinian Authority, which is the only internationally recognized government of the entire occupied Palestinian territories. Also, the authority has a clear responsibility towards the people of Gaza. And third, and last but not least, the de facto authorities who happen to rule the Strip since 2007. Also, they are bound by international law, international human rights law, and have to respect the principles of good governance, democracy, and human rights. These three duty bearers have to fulfill their obligations to the Gazan people.
لدينا ثلاثة بنود لنتحدث عنها، وهي أولا الاحتلال الإسرائيلي، ونحن نعلم أن الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يتحكم في غزة وفي قراراتها منذ زمن طويل. أما البند الثاني فهو السلطة الفلسطينية، وهي السلطة الوحيدة المعترف بها في الدول الأخرى. أما البند الثالث ففي عام طبعا 2007 كانت هي حكومة غزة قامت تم تأسيس حكومة غزة. نحن نؤكد أن هذه البنود الثلاثة أو الشروط يجب أن تكون ديمقراطية، ويجب لكل الدول الالتزام بذلك.
عشان الوقت هنخلي اللقاء بدون ترجمة يا جماعة بشكل سريع.
Gaza counts about 1.5 million people in need, or put differently, 75% of the Gazan population is in dire need of support. 1.4 million are considered to be refugees. I say this because I want to underline the fundamental and the indispensable role UNRWA plays in trying to help Gazan children to have access to education, in trying to get families access to clean water, and in trying to provide health services. It is absolutely important that the international community continues to support UNRWA. I'm proud to say that the European Union became in 2019 and 20 the most important provider of funds to UNRWA, and we will continue to honor our commitments toward the Palestinian refugees, not only in Gaza but elsewhere in the region. And we call upon other donors, and notably from the Arab countries, and also very soon hopefully from the United States, to live up to their moral obligations and commitments towards the cause of Palestinian refugees. I continue. Today we visited first the European hospital in Rafah. This hospital has been built with EU funds since the late 80s, and today is the most important referral center for COVID patients. We were given a very sober assessment of the needs this hospital and the entire Gaza Strip needs requires in order to be able to continue providing the much needed services for COVID patients. We worked in close cooperation with the World Health Organization, many NGOs who do a tremendous job, and we continue supporting the hospital and the health authorities in providing the services. We also hope that we can very soon help the authorities in having access to the much needed vaccine. You know, this is a very complicated issue, but the moment these vaccines become available, We will try our utmost in close cooperation with the United Nations to facilitate this vaccine to those most in need, the elderly, those frontline health workers, and others who need to have it. We then visited the Gaza desalination plant. This is to become the most important European Union investment project in the Gaza Strip. We started 8 years ago with the help of the Austrians and others in order to set up a small desalination plant. And this caters today for 75,000 people in the area of the plant in Gaza City. We are currently working on an extension, and hopefully by June or July next year, we are going to have a capacity to address the access of clean water needs of about 250,000 people. But we do more than that. Next week, I will sign with Prime Minister Steyer a contribution agreement with the European Investment Bank, which will be the first commitment of the EU to start implementing the project of a Gaza central desalination plant. Once this project is completed and the EU will put up an amount of 150 million euros, the entire drinking water needs of the 2 million population of Gaza will be satisfied. And we do more. We are currently working with international partners on the possibility of doing a large-scale Gas for Gaza project. We are in the phase of trying to identify the necessary financing mechanisms, but in connection with the Gaza desalination plant and the Gas for Gaza energy program, the two important sectors where you need support now, in the medium term and the long run, water and energy, will be addressed with European Union support and other support from the Arab world and other partners as well. Afterwards, we had a meeting with a number of distinguished human rights activists, NGO practitioners, and business people. And we promised to stay more in tune, in closer contact with these very important representatives of the civil society. Without a vibrant civil society, you don't have democracy. Without a vibrant civil society, you don't have a tolerant society. And without a vibrant private sector, you have no jobs, no livelihood, no employment. So for us, these two partners, civil society, human rights defenders, and business sector, are intrinsic and independent partners in development. We were able, thanks to a recent decision of the German and the French government, to award a very prestigious human rights prize to a very important member of our community. It's Assam Yumis, who was rewarded by both governments for his contribution to defending human rights and rule of law in Gaza and beyond. We were proud to be able to present this to him. In a week, in 2 days' time, on the day of the International Human Rights Day, this will be officially announced by the two ministers of France and Germany. So, to conclude, it was a great day for us. It was a great day of, again, connecting with the population in Gaza, with the authorities, with the civil society, with the private sector. And I promise you that we will come back as soon as possible and that we stay in contact as close as possible with all partners on the ground. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure.
هناخذ 4 أسئلة. تمام؟ إذا بتتفقوا نبدأ بنضال وكالة رويتر. المايك معاه.
Nidal from Reuters. You've been briefed by the Gaza Health Ministry and by the World Health Organization about the needs of Gaza, especially testing kits and ventilators and the rest of it. How do you assess the situation in Gaza in regard of COVID-19, and how are you going to help in this regard? Thank you.
Thank you for this very pertinent
السؤال
question.
الثاني حتى لو بالعربي بترجم. مين عنده سؤال؟
Shall I respond? Yeah. No, thank you very much for this very pertinent question. The European Union, through our humanitarian branch, ECHO, has provided between 2018 and 2020 35 million euros in public health. In 2020 alone, 5 million euros. And this doesn't count the contributions of many of the member states who are with me or partners of the United Nations. But money from the donors is not enough. It's also important that what I call the duty bearers take their full share and their responsibilities. Once we are back to Jerusalem and Ramallah, we will engage again with the PA in Ramallah and see to what extent their commitments towards the Palestinians here in Gaza in terms of having access to essential medical supplies, to medications and disposables can be met, because that was today considered to be a missing link in the supply chain as we saw it. We will also try to step up our efforts with the Israeli occupying forces and see to it that the effects of the closure, at least as far as the entry of humanitarian goods are concerned, can be lifted or mitigated. It's very important. And of course, we continue to the extent possible encouraging the de facto authorities of making sure that the investments we have put in place over the years are properly maintained here in Gaza.